दोस्तों, नवंबर का महीना यानी कि ठंड का मौसम यानी कि स्नो। अब आप कह रहे होंगे कि हरदीप, एडमंटन में रहना और स्नो से क्या डरना। तो डरने की बात तो है, क्योंकि स्नो के साथ साथ सिर्फ ठंड नहीं बढ़ती, बल्कि सूरज देवता के दर्शन भी दुर्लभ हो जाते हैं। और जब ऐसा होता है तो सबसे पहला असर जो होता है वो मेंटल हेल्थ पर होता है। मैं हरदीप खत्री, क्रिएटिव डायरेक्टर ऑफ V4U रेडियो, आपके लिए एक और जबरदस्त सूचना लेकर आया हूं। कैनेडियन मेंटल हेल्थ एसोसिएशन, साउथ एशियन यूनाइटेड मेंटल हेल्थ, मानव सेवा एसोसिएशन और काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया सोसाइटीज ऑफ एडमंटन ने मिलकर 23 नवंबर को सुबह 9:30 बजे से शाम 4:30 बजे तक इस सेमिनार का आयोजन किया है CISE बिल्डिंग में, एडमंटन। तो आप भी ज्वाइन करने के लिए रजिस्ट्रेशन करना मत भूलिएगा। रजिस्ट्रेशन निःशुल्क है। आप इनके QR कोड या फिर इनकी जो लिंक है, वेबसाइट है, वहां पर जाकर रजिस्ट्रेशन फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट कर सकते हैं। लाइट फ्री लंच भी सर्व होगा, यानी कि सोने पर सुहागा। बहुत सारे सेशंस होने वाले हैं, बहुत सारी आपको अवेयरनेस मिलने वाली है इस सैटरडे 23 नवंबर सुबह 9:30 बजे से लेकर शाम 4:30 बजे तक। लेकिन इसी चीज को प्रमोशन करने के लिए हमारे V4U रेडियो पर ऑर्गेनाइजर्स और V4U रेडियो की टीम लाइव हुए थे। आइए देखते हैं उनका क्या कहना है।
Hey friends, this is V4U Radio and TV Edmonton, and bringing one more time a promotional episode of a great event which is coming this Saturday, November 23rd at the CISE, this is Council of Indian Societies of Edmonton, an event organized by a great organization in collaboration with the few, South Asian United Mental Health Association. You saw two wonderful kids, Raul and Hari, come twice earlier on this platform talking about this great event, which is focusing on the South Asian mental health programs and what they are kind of offering to the youths here in the city. And I'm so grateful to be joined by some great panelists representing few organizations. Just to let you know, this organization is this event is organized in collaboration with Manav Seva. So Amit Anand is going to represent Manav Seva. He's the president of Manav Seva. He's going to talk a little bit about, I'm so glad to have the executive director of Canadian Mental Health Association, Edmonton chapter, Giri Poligandla, joining us. I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly, but I tried. Perfect. So he's joining from the Canadian Mental Health Association, and we'll talk about from his role and perspective. And I've got Sunita Jobanputra joining from South Asian United Mental Health Association. I stand corrected if I again butchered your last name, but I tried. So she's going to talk about from the South Asian United Mental Health, and Shamim Amiri. She is an EFT practitioner from Ujala Healing. She is one of the leads of the workshop. She is doing one of the workshops during this event. It's a full day event, 9:30 to 4:30. I'm so excited that such things are happening in Edmonton. I'll go quiet because I'm here to listen. I'm here to really just bring everyone on the same floor. I'll start with Sunita first. Sunita, you have been doing a wonderful job. Your two kids, beautiful face of the organization, Hari and Raul, came twice on the platform and spoke such highly about the program. But I would start with you to just know a little bit, how did it start? What are we expecting? How are you dividing up 9:30 to 4:30 that day? And then moving on along to other panelists.
Sure. Thank you, Anu. First, I could give you some introduction on how SOM, that is what we call our group, South Asians United for Mental Health, how we got together and started thinking about doing something for the youth, the mental health of the South Asian community, and more specifically youth. In July of 2023, we were hearing the serious incidents happening around mental health of youth in our community. There were a few suicides. We were hearing about a lot of concerns from youth as well as from the families. And that is what got a few concerned people together. So South Asians United for Mental Health is a very community-based group. And our intent getting to action for mental health within the community. So we did do a few other programs like chai and chat programs where we met with the community and got their perspective. We had several meetings with the youth, and we all felt that this is a much needed action. And a lot more people joined the group slowly, and we started working towards what we are working towards now, which, as you said very correctly, is a collaboration of 4 different organizations, and which is wonderful because it is action for community, and more people join into it, the better it is. What to expect from this? There are many different maybe that formed event organizing committee with all the representatives, all the 4 organizations, and that is the committee that has taken on the task of organizing this. So it is not the work of one specific group. It is the work of the organizing committee that you will be seeing live on 23rd. What to expect in the day is several presentations on issues related to mental health. And I'm very happy to say that Giri, who's with us today, he'll be doing a presentation. Then there are 3 psychologists. There are many experts in the field of self-care. We are having a panel discussion on effects of bullying and how to handle that. So there are also presentations or group activities that are happening with youth separately and with adults separately, because we felt that there are many topics where youth would be more comfortable talking in their group, and similarly for I shouldn't say adults, that is a wrong terminology, because many of our youth that we consider in the youth category would be adults, but the family activity, I can say. So we have separated those 2, and I'm sure Giri and Puneet are very with, and feel free to add to what I said. But in addition to that, we also are having booths, information booths from several organizations that there to answer any questions as well as share information on their services related to mental health.
That's great start, Sunita. Thank you so much. I'll go to Giri. I know he's pressed for time. Giri, as the Executive Director of Canadian Mental Health Association, especially Canadian Mental Health Association is quite concerned, and of course have great programs, especially launching that new line 211 on the suicidal. When I heard from Sunita that this is becoming concern, and speaking to you in the past, I know how you keep a close watch. I know the subject is not as easy to really talk, but I know that you're constantly motivating these organizations to come up with some fun-filled activities and bringing the communities together. How do you feel about this type of event coming up, and how is Canadian Mental Health supporting?
Thanks, Anu, and glad to be here, and glad to be a part of this event and contribute what I can. So, I mean, CMHA. So I'm executive director for CMHA Edmonton Region, right? But the Canadian Mental Health Association across the country has been around for 105 years. I think 106 years next year. But in Edmonton itself, our organization's been around for 70 years. Now, I've been in the sector around mental health, in the nonprofit sector, in the community sector for about 25 years. And just going back to that time, like it's one thing to say that our South Asian communities have stigma, right, associated with mental health. But I think when you combine the stigma along with, as Sunita said, notable increases noticeable increases in people actually with poor mental health and struggling, and frankly suicides and addiction and these kinds of things, you hit a point where I think people really want to know what to do about a problem. But because of the stigma, you get two things. One is that you have a much lower understanding of, but then you also don't have that sort of generational capacity to deal with problems like this. I think in sort of Western communities, mainstream population, they've had a bit of a longer journey. So, again, going back 25 years, even at that time, the sort of Western community were dealing with some pretty significant stigma. But then I think, in the 2010s, there was a significant increase in awareness of health. Let's talk.
Has
Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry, just lost connection for a brief moment. But sorry, Giri, you were saying something. So
Yes, where was I?
the stigma in the society is
Right, yes,
quite,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right. I mentioned Bell Let's Talk, which started in the 2010s, really changed the level of awareness in mainstream society around mental health. However, in our communities, in a lot of ethnocultural communities, the stigma was maintained, and there's still that discomfort in even recognizing mental health as an issue that was important. Fortunately, unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, the pandemic basically, it had a huge impact on everybody. And certainly it was during that, just in the last few years, that mental health has become a top of mind issue for everybody. So CMHA, I mean, historically we have, and it's not intentionally, but historically we haven't really addressed what mental health looks like in non-Western communities. And I'd say that most mental health services, the mental health system, hasn't really needed to modify its services to address these cultural differences. But now, because people weren't accessing them, or very few people were accessing them, now that has changed considerably, right? And I remember when Manav Seva first reached out to me back for their event in 2022, the Matter of Mind event, to speak, saying, "Oh yeah, we're organizing this mental health conference for the South Asian community," and I laughed. Because are you joking? I mean, I've grown up, born and raised in Edmonton, and in my community, no one ever whispered anything about mental health. And here, these guys were planning on organizing a conference. I thought to myself, okay, well, you know what? If 20 people show up, you should be proud of that. And it was over 200 people came out. And that to me was a signal that, okay, something really important has changed here. So then, as Sunita was saying, last year, a group got together, a grassroots group, seniors, youth, some really concerned community members came together because they wanted to do something about mental health, and they wanted to do something specifically around the youth mental health. So one of the roles that CMHA plays, in addition to all the helplines, the 211, the 988, all the support programs, education, all the things that we do, housing, actually one of the most important things that we do is we support community members in developing and implementing their own action, because it's the best solutions come from the communities themselves. So South Asians United for Mental Health, it's a grassroots group. So we provide them with a bit of an administrative backbone. We're their fiscal agent. But most importantly, I think we enable community members to take matters into their own hands and start to affect change. So this event on Saturday, which is really the culmination of intense work on the part of the youth and the other members of that group, but also incredible partnership, incredible support from Manav Seva, Association, from Council of India Societies of Edmonton, and then many supporters. It's very exciting that in my community, because this is my community, to take off my CMHA hat. This is my community. I'm so proud to see that we're coming together around this issue.
Wow, great. I mean, Canadian Mental Health Association has been there for a long time, and as you rightly said, 70 years in Edmonton, but the buzz was not as the noise was not as loud as it was ever before. And fortunately, the event which Manav Seva did in 2022, I was part of it. In fact, I'm so proud to say this was the first event which V4U Radio covered that year. What a turnout! Great panelists, great speakers, and the keynote was just amazingly that lady who came as an astronaut and talked about it. I still remember that. And so, coming to Amit, Amit has played not just in this event, but he has been a community leader. In fact, he's running some great events all throughout the year. Amit, coming to you from Manav Seva, how did Manav Seva get? Because Manav Seva is a very Hindi word meaning in service of humans. How did it become so close to mental health issue? I mean, what is the background, and if you can maybe talk about, and we see that you're doing such good work in this field of mental health.
For sure. Anupamji, first of all, thank you so much for always giving this platform of media to get our voices out to the community and performing outreach for us. I'm actually pretty surprised, Gary. Manav Seva is older than CMHA Edmonton region, so
Oh, wow.
that's good to know. So Manav Seva was established back in 1991, even before I came to Canada, right? And the whole intent, like Anupamji just mentioned, Manav Seva is service to mankind, and our senior wise people established this organization because I think back in the day they recognized the need to give back to the community, because it doesn't matter what time of the year, what decade you come to a new country, there's always some sort of a support that you would require. And specifically the ones that are underprivileged, we take things for granted quite a bit that, these all things will be available to us, all these privileges. So to address those social challenges, that's where the Manav Seva was established in 1991 back in the day. And one of the core objective of Manav Seva has been to organize community-related conferences, the need of the hour. So they have done conferences related to, cardiovascular diseases, neurology, things like that. What's really required in the society, in the community at that particular time. And as Giri mentioned, COVID really accelerated the need to recognize that mental health is no more stigma. It needs to be brought in front of the society and take the bull by the horn, because um, in our community, we know many, many instances where youth have taken their own lives because they don't know how to manage it. And the families fail to recognize the symptoms of those challenges and issues, and it becomes a domino effect both on the youth and the families, and that whole intergenerational gaps that we face specifically. So having said that, so when COVID hit, and as we were coming out of COVID, a lot of our advisors reached out that it's time for Manav Seva to take mental health by the bull by the horn. And hence we recognized that need in our community, specifically in the South Asian community, by listening into the very, very unfortunate incidents that occurred, and where the youth is headed towards, with through social media, peer pressure, whatever they hear on the internet or other means may not be true, and it gives them unnecessary stress and then unnecessary mental pressure, and it goes back to their homes, which again creates the domino effect within the families itself. So it was pretty critical for Manav Seva to take on this initiative, and hence we organized that conference in 2022. And Giri was one of the core instrument in putting that conference together, because our job is to put the show on, but that's all we can do. But it's people like Giri and others that are subject matter experts to run the show, right? So this is where moving forward to November 23, and we're joining hands with Sunita ji and Som, because we're all fighting towards the same cause. And collaboratively, I think we can do much better good towards our community, towards our society, and hence we're organizing as a follow-up where Sunita ji heard back in their session, Chai and Chat, we heard in our mental health conference that this is a real need, right? It's not a sideway conversation anymore, right? It needs to come at the forefront. And Bell's initiative, Let's Talk. Again, those are mainstream corporation that are bringing this topic forward in every household. So we're kind of piggybacking on those types of initiatives and focusing on our South Asian community through our collaborative effort. Council has been really, really great to provide any logistical operational support throughout. So again, without this is all about holding hands together and battling this this stigma, this mental health out of the park. And this is just the beginning. I think we have lot more work to do, whether we are here, we're not here. I think we want to create a vehicle that this must go on.
Great. I mean, one thing was for sure that we all are so passionate about this topic because it has hit everyone some way or the other. And in our daily lives, we see it. No household can say they are fully protected or insulated from mental health. In some shape or form, it is affecting everyone. That's why I think we've become so passionate about it, because day in, day out, when we work hard to make sure our near and dear ones are really having a safe environment around them. And the first thing which I've learned is acceptance. I think the best thing to fight is accept, and acceptance is something which is kind of gives a chance for people to feel that safe environment and talk. Last but not the least, I've got Shamim Amiri from Ujala Healing. She lives this on a daily basis, 365 days a year. She is doing some either performing those EFT practicing to among the people who are kind of approaching for some need kind of thing. And I'm so grateful that she volunteered, put her hands up to do one of the workshops on the 23rd. Shamim, coming to you, if I were attending, how would I find this workshop? What are you doing? How are you dealing with that intergenerational? Because I know that the parents are also coming, the kids are on the same room, attending the same workshops. Tell us something about what's on your mind when you will open the doors on the 23rd of November.
Thank you very much, Anu. Thank you, Sunita, Giri, Amit. It's so nice to meet you. And I'm so proud to be a part of this this community. And I like, Giri, when you said, when you can take off the hat of CMHA and it's us, it's about us, it's about our community. And that's how Ujala was born. Ujala was born last year. So I'm coming to my first year. And I hear that we all have our stories, and our stories makes it real. And the stigma can only be removed when we become vulnerable. I see that we are all becoming vulnerable because we all want to heal, and healing happens when we reveal. So volunteer at the Senior Center, Millwood Senior Center. I have grief and trauma recovery. I actually recently did my suicide intervention with the Canadian Mental Health Association, and it was a great experience. I'm an EFT practitioner. So for those of you who don't know, it's a type of modality that is becoming very, very popular in conjunction with the talk therapy. It stimulates the nervous system, helps the body to release some very helpful chemical. So it is shown that it significantly reduces the cortisol level. So it's very different because we're very used to of sitting across a therapist, but this is a body-based technique where, as we all know, when we are stressed, our body remembers, things that has happened to us years ago tighten up and we don't know how to let go. So in the workshop on Saturday, I would be demonstrating the tapping technique for grief and trauma in a very basic format so that people can take skills home. so they can take care of themselves. So that's the whole idea, because it's going to be like a general setting. Grief and trauma is a very, very near and dear to my heart. And it's not something that people are very comfortable talking in a larger crowd, because nobody wants to it's just uncomfortable. So we will do it in a very simple form so that everybody can participate. And the idea is that we provide a very happy, joyful environment, a calmer, a more peaceful family kind of an environment. And the idea is to really empower and how do we become resilient. So those are some of the techniques that we're going to learn. That would be my goal, is to provide that. And yeah, I'm super excited to be a part of it, and I can't wait to get to know each one of you.
I am
Thank you.
super excited. And one thing which I want to, it just hit me as I was recollecting from my past couple of promotions, which Hari and Rao kind of did a great job. I think this is the first one when I'm attending, which is what does South Asian mental health, so South Asian United means? It includes the cultural, like people from not just India, Pakistan, but India, Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Maldives, all that Southeast Asian, what makes
Yes.
it very cultural. So all they are really doing, and this is very unique about it. So I'm really excited, looking forward to listening to each one of you during November 23rd. It's an event, great people, great partners, but I know Giri had a few more things to add on. Giri, I would come back to you quickly, and then we'll just sum it up quickly and then invite everyone. I'm going to post a registration link as well. So who have not yet registered, and then they feel that they can really spend these good 8 hours with us in a very safe environment. Of course, be our guest, join us. But Giri, coming to you.
Great. Thank you. I just wanted to just kind of build on what Shamim was saying, and what Amit had said already. I think that we're well past needing awareness, right? The purpose of the event on Saturday isn't so much about awareness. I think, unfortunately, most of us are aware of mental health because of what we're seeing around us, right? There was a poll done a couple of years ago. 2 out of 3 people are concerned about the mental health of the people around them. I mean, and then 1 out of 3 is probably dealing with something, right? So it's all around us. At CMHA, we are one of our key goals is to make sure that every single one of us has the confidence and the competence to be able to respond, to recognize and respond when somebody close to us is struggling with their mental health. If you think about it this way, if any one of us were to clutch our chest and fall to the ground, if you were on the street, you clutch your chest, fall to the ground, pretty much guaranteed somebody around you, they would know the phone number to call, they would know to do chest compressions, they would know what comes next, they know the basics of heart care and so forth. But if somebody were to be exhibiting some signs of a mental health challenge, or someone were to tell you that they were thinking of taking their life, or that they were struggling with their mental health, most of us would not know what to do. I think on Saturday, what we're starting is that knowledge. We're starting to build that knowledge in our own communities about what mental health, and for each other as members, as friends, as relatives. And I think that's where the solution lies for the mental health crisis that we're in right now.
Great, and as I promised everyone, that is just going to be a short. I know that it's still we wanted to really, we are passionate people. We want to really invite as many people as who can join in on November 23rd. I'll just go quickly around the table in 1 word or 2 words if you want to just sum up and invite people in your wait on 23rd of November. I'll start with Sunita, and then we'll wind up today's promotion.
Thanks, Anu. I just wanted to add a couple of things, which are, in my view, very salient features of the event on 23rd. One, the majority of the responsibility of putting this event together has been taken on by the youth, which is for the first time we are having an event like this.
Very proud. Very proud, yes.
Yes, amazing performance and effort by the youth. the second most salient feature in my mind is that all the speakers at this event are people who have volunteered their time. So this is in a true meaning community action. All speakers are volunteering their time. All workshop holders are volunteering their time. And many of them are from within the community and some are not, and have very graciously offered their time to do that. So my appeal to the community is that all this effort becomes worthwhile if they join in and take benefit of it. That is the only way we can make the best use of it.
Great call.
And
great call.
just one more point, that it is free. So
Yes.
they know that there is no payment required for registration and attendance.
Well, they bring the time with them. They bring a lot of open-mindedness with them, and they come to learn. That's the only requirement, I think, and we'll all will benefit from it. Amit.
No, again, once again, thank you, Anupam ji, for hosting us. She's always been a great supporter to promote events like this. Just to add on what Sunita ji mentioned, of course, the event is free. However, we will be serving lunch. We will be serving chai and pakora. So definitely do come. And the other thing is, yes, the event is from 9:30 to 4:30. We got different sessions running at different time. So even if you can make it just for the morning or for the afternoon
Oh,
or
that's a
for
good
an
point.
hour,
That's a
just
great point.
come, right? And you will be surprised that you will find that you're not alone in this journey. That's one of the fear that people have. Oh, this is just my problem and my neighbors probably don't have this problem. So why do I expose myself? But when you come to an events like this is the safest environment. This is where you will meet with other people and you will recognize that I'm not alone on this boat, right? I got a lot of my own friends and other supporters in this journey, and it just makes it that much easier. So whatever time you have on Saturday, even for half an hour, it really does not matter. Do come, and even if you decide to come for half an hour, I bet you will stay for more than half an hour. So my appeal to the community is please take time to come and attend the workshop, and this will guide us more in terms of what to do next. You know, what does our community need? So this is a feedback loop that we really, really look forward to. So again, thank you, Navamji, for having us on your show.
Thank you all. Thank you. And I'm so looking forward to seeing all of you. Thank you, Shamim. Thank you, Sunita ji. Thank you, Amit. And thank you, everyone who will go to watch us and also decide to come to attend this event. And I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.